All right, kids, we're here. I'm here with Jerry Farber.
Oh, stop all that. You could have just as easily had Seinfeld. How we're calling me to show.
I know.
Maybe we'll get him here.
Yeah, I know. You need me to help. Jerry Seinfeld, Jerry Farber, same thing.
Jeff Foxworthy. You know, just it's a Jerry.
It's a J. That's it. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting.
Good seeing you.
I know, you too.
It's way too long.
I know, and it's been a long time since I've been in the studio, and so I was a little discombobulated.
This is your first back from the vacation?
Yeah, back in the studio. Now, I Skyped in from Boston.
Wow.
So, but I had, I had a blast. So I'm just going to share my video here, and, it's just too much going on with the computer. I was back in Boston, and I was Skyping in the show, and I was trying to do everything, and I was like, oh, gosh. It was like too much technology.
I think it is.
It's a little bit crazy. But I had some great guests on in Boston. They were awesome. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun.
And didn't you go to California? You did something else?
I went to Lake Tahoe at the beginning of the summer with my son.
Right.
And I was in Maine. I went to Maine for a couple of days with my my boyfriend. And then the following week I went for a couple of days with my mom. And my mom and I always have a lot of fun. We were with my girlfriend and her mom. And so we did stuff like play cards. We drank on the beach and played cards.
You're adorable.
Adorable human. Thank you. But just like the old-fashioned stuff, like you can't get any more vanilla than that. Like we played, we cleaned up dinner, we played cards.
That's great.
Yeah, it was so fun. Cheese and crackers and cards and drinks and wine and vodka, and it was just fun. So hence the extra poundage.
You know what?
I've been on a diet since Monday.
My father would have said you're fine. You're just filling out.
Oh my gosh.
And you look great.
Thank you. I feel great, and I had, of course, Boston has like the best food. Mm-hmm. I was eating Italian last weekend. I was there for the feast, which is like, if you ever watch The Godfather, when they walk through the streets with the saint, that's where I was at, but only in Boston. And the food is just, it was just nonstop fun. But lots of laughs, and hey Tom, hey Katie, how are you? We're going to see you next week. And who's on Instagram? We got Denise, hey Denise, and Storco Fresco, hey. How's the macaroni over there? You been making it? Homemade? I need to come over there and get some homemade macaroni.
Where?
Storco Fresco. They're in Buckhead.
Oh, okay.
They make homemade pasta and all that.
Right.
They have a nice little cafe there. Yes. It's really nice.
Good for them.
I went on a lunch date there once.
Are you a speed dater? Are you doing the 7-8 guys a day? That's what I heard. That's what everybody's saying. No, and then you meet your real guy at night, but you just a conversation. That's what I heard.
No. No. Back when I first went on the dating apps, it was like 5 different dates a week. I was like, this is crazy. Well, I was like, this was me. They were like, where would you like to go? Well, I had a list of Just Steph restaurants that Just Steph needed to go to, and I was like, well, here's the list. You pick. It was like, then I could talk about it on the show.
I went to a singles myself.
Yeah.
Which was, I didn't want to go, but I'd do it. It was an over 55. Mm-hmm. I've had root canals that were much easier to take than no, it was a pretty phony, phony. And I was too. I can play phony. I'm a performer.
Right.
But nobody could be real because everybody was putting on their very best face. Nobody could,
right.
I'm fine. Then you found out they just bankrupted this. The second husband left. I'd rather hear all the news first.
Right.
To get to know somebody. I don't think you can be real without going, right?
Right.
Show me all your cavities.
Hey, Tricia, show me your cavities.
Show me all your cavities and let's talk real because it becomes unreal anyway.
Right.
So, anyway, I got married twice that night.
Oh, we're almost on. We're almost ready. Oh my goodness. Oh,
You're so great.
I'm nuts.
I love that. You make everybody feel real good. Stephanie.
That's nice. I want to. You know what? And we'll talk about this. Ask me what I think my job is, and I can tell you. I don't want to say it now because I want them to stay tuned. But so anyway.
A sweet studio. This is a very warm, engaging spot to sit for a while.
Well,
No, it is. It is.
I don't know if he needs it or not. It's not that comfortable.
No, it's really not. You're right. Come to think of it. You know what?
We should be doing this in my living room. Not the bedroom, the living room. Tricia said, "Hey, Steph and Jerry."
Hello?
He can't read that far away. He's
No, I cannot really see that.
you know what, I
It
can't
looks
either.
like a phone. It's a cell phone, right?
That is a phone,
Yeah,
and that's an
phone.
iPad.
Okay.
It's not a flip phone.
I've heard good things about both of them. I don't have a cell phone. I've heard really good things about it.
I'm not going to be able to do the show and be laughing the whole time.
My kid just spent $300 on a phone. I've never heard of that.
What?
Of his own money. My kid, he spent $300 on a little phone. I said, Josh, that's more than your whole dad's clothing, for the
The
year.
wardrobe.
Yeah. He said, Dad, that was cheap. It usually costs $1,000. I never heard of anything. I'm
That's
not keeping
ridiculous.
up with.
I just got a new phone because my phone, they last 2 years. They make them so they last 2 years. And I'm going, are you kidding me? Yeah, we're good. We're ready to go? Yeah, we're ready. Yeah. See, this is what's nice about being, oh, here we go. Ooh, girl, you shine.
How can you tell? How can you tell we're on?
They don't make you
Okay,
like
I got
you do.
Last time I did that, I got a hernia so bad. I was in the hospital, just moving like that.
You can do it.
I do it. I exercise there. I do the belt line. I live on this belt line downtown. You know what? You should do it. Just go walk.
60. I'm not going to be able to do this today. Body, mind, and heart, and featuring Living Atlanta. Steffi, you're so classic. Hey, this is Steph Palermo, and this is the Just Steph Show. Everybody has 2 lives. The second one begins when you realize you only have one. We are second lifers. We're empty nesters, newly single, and those starting over age 3. Your healthy, happy, hip years are just beginning. The back phone is connected. So give me a buzz to chat today, 404-355-8699. Tell me what's going on in your life. I want to hear from you. And we have Jerry Farber.
Oh, hoop-de-doo.
Yay. Well, everybody has 2 lives, but I think Jerry has like 10. Oh my God.
Your producer said, how old are you? I said, I'm approaching 80. You know what he said? From what direction? That's what he said. Your producer right here with the green beret.
No. Well, Jerry, it's been 100 years since the last total solar eclipse went from one end of the country, one coast to the other. But of course you know that because you were there.
I was there with Teddy Roosevelt. I was, for
Yeah.
real. Brad Pitt, everybody, Richard Gere, we were all there.
Oh my gosh, that's unbelievable.
All the old guys.
I love having you back in the studio because we always have a lot of fun, and it's great to. I haven't been in the studio all summer. I've been Skyping from Boston, so it's great to be back, and I'm excited. Love to be back here in Atlanta.
Were you doing the show on the road?
I was actually Skyping from Boston and having great guests from Boston who actually appealed to everybody.
Did you have Tom Brady?
I had him, but not in the studio.
No, I'm not.
Is that bad?
That's for the
Is that
late
bad?
night show. That's the late night show.
I know, that's on, we can do that when we're on internet radio, because I can say what I really want.
Anyway, you're great. You're a great representative of Boston, which I love.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, no, I didn't see Tom he was busy. No, I was busy. I told him I was too busy to see him this summer. But, I have my other boyfriend.
I know the Falcons can't wait to see him again.
I know. They're looking forward to it, aren't they?
Right.
But no, I had some great guests from Boston, and I was actually on local television in Boston, and I spoke at an event, and I networked, went to workshops. I was working, having fun, going away. I went to Maine and the beach, and did all that. So I was with my family too. Not my uncle passed away back in April, and it was really nice to be with my family because it was just a hard loss for us. So we were all together, which was nice.
I met some of your family. Remember
My birthday party.
At Billy Allen's.
That was my birthday.
That was your birthday.
Yeah, do you remember? No.
Yeah, no, I do. No, they were lovely. Your sister.
It was my mom, and my aunt.
Right,
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
Your aunt flirted with me.
Yeah,
I'll never
she did.
forget. No, I was wearing my Einstein shirt. She looked and I said, "Could I buy you a drink?" Your aunt. And she said, "No, but I'll take the $8."
Wow. Yeah.
She didn't want to drink. She said, "Give me the cash." That's a smart woman. That's a northern woman. That's
Yeah. There you go.
Northeast.
Yeah, you gotta love a Boston girl. You know, we'll tell it like it is, right?
Yeah.
There's no, what is it, bless her heart, bless their heart?
None
Yeah,
of that.
no, you just get it right out.
Right.
So,
No, we told
you always know where you're at. What'd you do this weekend?
I work. You know, still working, thankfully. I was in Savannah Friday and Charleston Saturday.
Nice.
Doing 2 one-nighters. Yeah, it's great. Charleston was all young people, a lot of Marines from
Right.
Camp Lejeune, and they're the best. They're the best, and I tell them that.
Right,
So I really admired soldiering,
right.
because if it weren't for them, we'd all be eating sushi and, and
Oh my
wiener-
God.
and Wiener Schnitzel. So thanks to the soldiers. I was one. I was in Vietnam. Not Vietnam, Canada. I was in Canada during Vietnam with Dick Cheney and Newt Gingrich and that old crowd. See, am I going to get you in trouble? I'm allowed to. See, I say these things. I say
You're not swearing, he's not swearing.
I didn't swear.
It's okay.
Okay.
He does the clean jokes, which is great.
I'm clean. I am a clean comic.
Yeah,
I do some politics, but not much. I'm not going to offend anybody today. I'm an old. Look at me. Look at me. Woody Allen looks better than I do.
George Burns does.
We should do as well as Woody Allen, by the way. Yeah, George Burns just called. It was a remote. Doing a remote.
Long distance.
Yeah.
It was
You
long-
know what? You remind me, then I'll tell you why. You're so happy doing this in your second life and all the philosophy, right?
Right.
George Burns, Jack Benny, Jimmy, they all lived to be in their 90s and 100s. I think it's really because they were blessed to be able to do what they loved to do.
Right.
They loved it, and they loved it for 100 years, right?
I think that's important. I mean, if you,
I think it
I think
helps a
miserable
lot.
people,
I think it
they're miserable people are miserable, and then and it takes a toll on your body.
Yeah, it does.
And so that's actually that kind of segues into what I want to talk to you about, because I know I love tapping into your wisdom. And it's funny because I really, when somebody passes that's like my grandmother or somebody, one of my in my family, the older generation, and I feel so bad because it's like that wisdom. I want to, so I'm going to tap into your wisdom.
And usually when they're older and we love them, it's one less person that really knows who we are or anything about us. Like I had 8 aunts and uncles, they're gone. Parents
Right.
are gone. Grandparents are gone. Cousins.
Right.
Had 16 first cousins, now they're 11. But my point, every time there's one, it's like that's one less awareness.
Right.
I mean, selfishly, one less person that knows and may accept me.
Right, and that's what it is when you have family. They accept and love you as you are. That's that's what happens when I go home to Boston, and I have that with my family, and it's very easy. It's just I'm just me. I'm just Steph. When I say I'm just Steph, I really mean that's who I am, and no, I don't have to do anything. I can just be. All they want is for me to be there. They don't care if I'm on the radio. Oh, you got a radio show? Big deal. They don't care.
Right.
They don't want to hear. They don't care. They don't want to talk about it. Whatever. It's like, what are we going to eat? That's all they want to care about.
It's great what you say. To be a star. She doesn't drink anymore, by the way. She doesn't drink any less. But, but when I first met you, the first night, the vibe you put out, this expression, we're all created equal. Some are a little more equal than others. You had a vibe. There was a persona.
Mm-hmm.
It was gravitational. And you still have it, by the way.
Thank you. I hope I never lose that, because I mean, what my job I feel like is, if people are around me and they feel like they've been loved and accepted, then I've done my job. That is the bottom line in my world. That's what I want. I want people to know that they're okay with me. And I think that's important. And I have this quote. It says, like I'm not gonna give you the whole thing because it's long, but like experienced midwives, we should all assist those who are inexperienced in the painful birthing of psychological maturity and greater spiritual consciousness. This is the least we can do, lead people from their darkness with the light of our caring. So whether it's laughter or encouragement or just a helping hand or maybe even just a smile.
A smile would be, helps.
It does. I mean, it really makes a difference. And, you know, you said something a little bit earlier. You had that little quote about, you know.
Let me read it real quick.
Read it. Go ahead, because I really like
this. A Christian ethicist, Norman Vincent Peale, he's a minister.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I hadn't heard his name in 60 years, and I read this in a magazine. Norman Vincent Peale said, the trouble with most of we humans is that we would rather be ruined by praise than saved by criticism. And that really is old-fashioned. That's a Vince Lombardi for you football fans.
Right.
That means, I don't care if you score, you just keep doing it. Don't brag about anything.
Right.
You have nothing to brag about. Keep doing it.
Right.
In the day when I used to wrestle in school, I really did wrestle in school.
Right.
There was one winner. There weren't 12 winners.
Right.
Now they got trophy. And it changed because of the trophy business. It was on 60 Minutes, a guy that makes millions selling the trophy.
Right.
He said, all the kids need to feel like winners. I said, I am a late like daddy. That's not true. The kids have to aspire to, I guess. There's only one Tom Brady. The other ones can be next year.
Right.
There's only one.
Right.
So all this stuff with everybody winning, that's not the way, that doesn't evoke winning.
Right, but I like, you know, I have some really great friends, and, you know, especially in Boston, they just tell you like it is. They're like, whatever. But I would prefer, if I had something going on in my life, for my friends to say, hey, you know, you're looking at it this way. Did you ever look at it this way? Or maybe you're doing this, or do you think you maybe should try that, or whatever it is. And even in my love relationship, you know, I've been challenged intellectually to some degree. However, my boyfriend now, I feel he challenges my integrity, and he says, "Well, you're saying this, but you're doing this," you know. And I go, "You know what? You're right," and I love that. I want to be challenged.
That's the whole point.
I want to be challenged. I want someone to tell me you're doing this. You know, you're looking at this the wrong way, or no, you're over emotional, or whatever it is. Whatever it is, and I'd rather that than someone, you know, candy coated.
Well, to that point, you know who Michael Jordan is.
Yes.
LeBron James, Larry Bird.
Right.
In all the books they read, there's one quote they all make and they like. If you think you're a winner, you don't celebrate your wins. You focus on your losses, because they all lose.
Right.
They all lose. So that's where they grow. They grow from when they lost, not when they win, because they're winners. They think they're winners, so they don't keep focusing. They're winners, but they know they're going to lose.
Right.
You understand the idea?
Well, a lot of times, I mean, you'll see this, I see a lot of these inspirational quotes here and there, and a lot of times I read things like, we do our growing and our learning and our, during times of hard times, during dark times, during suffering, during, you know, it's not during the good times that we're, you know, it's great, and I don't ask for any suffering. I'm not going to ask for it, but you know, it comes along, or whatever happens, whatever is hard. That's the time where you have to start making. You have to take which road. You have to decide which road you're going to take, and that's when you grow, because you might, if you take the road that isn't going to be the one that's going to get you to the end of the journey. Well, then you have learned something. I wouldn't call it failure. You just learned, and it's time to go to the other road.
Yeah, it's only failure if you don't learn something.
Right.
Then it's a failure.
This is true.
Okay, so.
I think the failure is in. I think when we don't do the right things for ourselves, taking care of ourselves and taking care of the people around us, I think that's a failure. I really do. And I think for putting yourself first in terms of, you know, putting on your own oxygen mask, that means taking care of your health or whatever you need to do, or saying no sometimes because you can't do everything, whatever that means for you, and then everybody else. And then you start doing things for other people. And I think when you take care of yourself, and I think this happened in my marriage. I didn't take good care of myself in my marriage, and the kids saw that, and they, you know, and I think there's a lack of respect, you know, because you're not taking care of you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, it is what it is.
And that permeates the air.
Right.
Like, what's the matter here?
Well, yeah, and then you're not happy, and you know what? And then you're not happy, and then you're mad at everybody else instead of yourself. And I think in all this hatred that's going on, and I'm not political, I don't want to get into politics, but I think the bottom line is they're not happy with themselves.
Well, to that point, Obama didn't make it up, but he was recently quoted, is that babies aren't born hating. The point being, it's what this world, whoever's doing it, is creating ugly. Babies are pure. Right? They're pure.
Absolutely.
So it was in response to some of the politics that are going on. It was in response.
And the funny thing is and you go from that, and you would hope that by the end, by the time you're closing your eyes for eternity, that you got back to that state. I mean, I think is that the journey maybe? I mean.
Well, personally, can I say what I've done lately? Because I am approaching 80, and I've had plenty of fracture, all that I've done. Everybody's been good to me. I don't remember anybody but I have turned, and I'm not honored a debt or whatever things have been. I'm making phone calls every day to people going through dozens of phone books and trying to get straight. And people say, I don't remember what you're talking about. I love you, my friend. I said, but I remember. I remember every unpaid debt or every rude comment. I do. And I'm cleaning because I don't want my last thoughts to be, God, I was such a loser. I really should not have been that ugly. There was no reason to be ugly. I've never had a friend who was any reason to be ugly, but I have been. Either mad, anger, or my own
stuff.
Fractures. So now I'm really aware of it, as you should be. I've rather been this aware at 20, but at 80, I'm really conscious of apologizing, telling somebody I love them, because I quite often do, and was too proud to say something that, because sometimes when you say that, that's vulnerable.
It is vulnerable.
And you got to be vulnerable. There's no place to be vulnerable.
I'll tell you what, ever since for the last few years, I mean, I think it took getting comfortable in my own skin and all of that, but I'll get off the phone with even my girlfriends, and I'm like, okay, love you, I'll talk to you later, bye. Love you, love you, love you. To my mom, oh my gosh, we were down the feast, and I'll always love your mama, whatever, my mama came on, that song by the, Intruders or whatever, and I grabbed my mom, and I danced with her, and I was like, my heart belongs to you. That's it. You got to do these things. You've got to show people who they are by loving them. I mean, in loving them doesn't mean being mushy-gushy, it just means loving them as they are, not trying to change anybody. It's so much energy.
I think it was Mother Teresa who said, and I love this one, I heard it a long time ago, was, to the world you're one human, but to one human you may be the world.
Right.
And you never know that more than going to a homeless shelter and seeing these people that just by you being there makes them feel comfortable for those moments. If there's another human they don't know, not a family member, you're showing up, giving them a cookie, a coffee, or hugging. That makes a lot of difference, right? Just to do
it absolutely does. And you know what? I'd like to talk about this more as it pertains to love relationships. So this is dating advice for second lifers, and this is the Just Steph rules of dating. Need to know if you want to be mine. All right, I sort of had something else planned, but I think the way this is going, and I'm going to stick with it because I think it's really good. I think it's important, especially for second lifers who are now back in the dating world, and for me, when I had when I was divorced, I never had another boyfriend besides my husband. I was just, so it was like. Well, I was like, all the world's all the world's a candy shop, right? I was like,
right.
But which is fun. But I think that I've seen a lot of people get mistreated, in that whole dating scene, and I just don't understand how people can even if I don't like somebody, if I don't find. I've gone out on a lot of dates with men who were very nice men, but they weren't for me on the romantic level. But I always treated them kindly, like, thank you very much, thank you for taking me out, thank you for dinner, it was really great, whatever, just very kind to them. Or even if when I was on the dating apps, if someone sent me an email that I knew for sure that this was Sasquatch getting in touch with me, I go, hey, thank you so much for reaching out. This, I don't believe we're a match, but best to you. Some people get mad, whatever. I got some nothing, some. But I felt like I wanted to be treated like a human being that, you know, I deserve dignity and respect. And so I can't expect that if I don't give it first.
I totally believe that.
You know, and I just, so.
Otherwise, you're just actressing.
I know. Well, and there is a lot of fake stuff going on. There's a lot of, it takes a lot of energy to be fake. Doesn't it? I'm tired. I'm 50 years, I'm tired. Are you, I mean, do you know what I mean?
Well, this is being a comedian for 60 years. One thing you learn earlier than a lot of my friends is rejection, which means at some point when you're young, you'll say, oh, they didn't get me, they're not hip enough, they're not all that stuff. By the time you're 30, you say, I need to improve. I had 8 people walk out tonight. I mean, so my point is there was not a lot of chance to be, even if you become a star, which I never did, is to be inward, to be introspective, and that's what I find missing a lot. Because if nothing's coming in, I don't mean information, a lot of information.
Right.
But if we're not really contemplating, then we cannot possibly be anything. Maybe not fake, but not underneath who we are.
Well, people are afraid to look in the mirror and take a good look.
I want you to hear I want you to hear the producer. I love the expression. It's a new one that I read in some book about getting it together. And it said we spend too much time in the mirror looking instead of looking in the window. That means if we're not really looking out to the world, we're just looking at ourselves.
Right.
It can be really pretty boring.
Well, it is boring. However, I do and I agree with that. And I think from a sort of a narcissistic point of view, like, you know, looking in the mirror too much and worrying too much about ourselves gets a little bit monotonous, and really you don't take anybody into you can actually trample over everybody by not looking out if you're not looking ahead. However, I do think people don't introspect. They don't say, you know, especially in between relationships, you know, people are always like, oh, I'm alone, I'm this, I'm that, I'll never find anybody. Instead of saying, okay, what happened there? What wasn't good for me? What am I doing now? Am I okay? Do I need to get therapy? Do I need to start exercising just to get some, you know, do something, eating right, taking care of me? Whatever it is that you need to do for you, reading good books, you know, taking time away, you know, quiet time. I think people don't do that. I think that they just keep barreling through, and that's when they're looking in a mirror and not looking out the window.
I live in Midtown.
Mm-hmm.
It's 160 units. I'm 50 years older than any other human. They're young.
Right.
They're not kids. They're in their 30s and 40s. But none of them ever read. They come to the pool. Most of them have a little radio. You can hear 100 different songs at the same time
right.
if you want. All right. But they don't, their conversation, like my kid talks, my 17-year-old talks more intelligently.
Right.
He focuses more. So I asked some of the people, do you ever read? I don't read. Yeah, I don't like reading, but I've got my phone, I can do it. It's not the same thing. There's so much good to read, and you can learn. You can lay there
right.
in the sun, have a drink, or lemonade,
right.
and you can be expanding yourself. So it's people looking for a partner. They're not really owning up to being the first, their own good partner to themselves
right.
first, which is what you talk about.
Right.
You can't be a partner unless you really are partnering with yourself.
Right.
Okay, and I've had 3 wives, I know something. They weren't mine. They were my friends' ones. They'd rather have, you might get beat up, but you won't lose your house. That's an important thing.
There you go.
Bad joke. Right?
That's a great joke. It's a great joke. I love that. No, I mean, I just think that people, they're so afraid of getting hurt that they're not.
Right, I think that's a big deal. People are afraid to be rejected, like we're so important.
Right.
We're grains of sand with a heart and soul, but we're going to be gone at some point.
Right.
And then we're gone. And then there's another group of Jerrys or Stephanies, and that's humbling to understand and really relevant. We take ourselves we're so self-important. And I tell some of the young comics I meet, some of them have become names, and they're just beating their chest. And Tom Brady doesn't beat the chest. He could, but he doesn't beat his chest from what I understand.
No, he's very humble.
Pretty humble guy.
He's very humble.
As I say, guys, until you cured cancer or you started a shelter with 8,000 people there, then I'll hug you. Right now, you're just another guy telling a joke.
Right.
Who are you really? What do you think Well, I was on this show, and I was on, first of all, I'm old, that show, I'm an old guy now, so I'm a little bit jaded. But I think I'm getting more focused about what is important. I know we're all gone, that I know for sure. We're
Right.
gone. So it's great to have peace with yourself while you're here, just to
Right.
make sense of it.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, I think that it's important. I think people don't take the time for the person next to them. You know, I think there's a delicate balance with taking care of yourself, making sure that you're healthy, and that's a lot of the things that you're talking about, being at peace with yourself.
Right.
And being comfortable in your own skin. I think the bottom line is being comfortable in your own skin and being okay with you, and then having the courage to be okay with that and walk tall. And that means in your relationships and in your love relationships, being able to, and I think, you know, being vulnerable in those relationships, it means a lot, you know?
It does. This, I think, a lot of humans would relate to. So I was in Savannah Friday night, and one of the people coming to see the show, before the show, was outside. He came, "Oh, Jerry, this is my girlfriend. Tell me a joke." And it bothered me. I didn't tell him, but it bothered me because what I am perceived at out there in the large world, oh, there's Jerry, he tells jokes. But we're humans underneath jokes. Tom
Right.
Brady's underneath a football player. He's a
He's a
human.
man
He has
and a dad,
full
you know,
feelings. He can cry
yeah.
at things that affect him.
Right.
So I told him some bad joke, purposely, a really dumb joke. And he said, "Oh," and he says to the girlfriend, "He'll do better in there."
Oh, God.
But the fact that I know that I'm a decent human, I would rather him say that. He's not a great comic, but he's a lovely guy. That would be more important to me because I'm working on that. The
Right.
jokes are sort of superfluous. I tell him to make a living, and I have fun doing it, see people laugh, but it's not nearly like it was when I was 30 or 40.
Right. Yeah, well,
They
it's,
see us, we're jokes, we're joke tellers.
I agree. I mean, you get, you know, it's almost utilitarian. You're just useful.
Yeah.
And that can happen in love relationships. And, you know, you just, you
What's
know,
taken
a
for
cog.
granted.
You're just a cog on the wheel, you know, and, you know, I mean, I sort of felt that way when I was married. You know, I was the nanny, the house manager,
Right.
the, you know, the chauffeur, the, you know, whatever, the nurse, the, you know, and there was more, you know, you feel that way, and you got to sort of stand up for yourself. So that's very interesting. I think that, you know, it's something to think about. Like, do we treat people, do we use people instead of, you know, using things? Like, you know, do we sort of idolize stuff and then we use people? You know, it's kind of backwards, don't you think?
It is.
It's kind of crazy.
It is.
All right, well, listen, take a risk, be vulnerable, share your heart and love always. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, more Jerry Farber, and this one is for the birthday peeps. Monty Henderson, hey Monty, Krista Miller, Reagan Reinhold, and Katarina Kennedy. Happy birthday, peeps. Love ya.
Krista Mello, a comedian?
I don't know. No, not Krista Miller. Krista Miller. That was, so.
I love your
let's-
accent. It's the best accent.
I'm
that's
sorry.
Ever happened. No, it's ever happened.
Oh, we got Jim Weber, Joey Noon, Adam Levy, Skies watching, Katie, preach it. Giuseppe Lorenzo Verdi. Hey, Giuseppe.
Great name.
Trisha. Sue Lavolo. Hey, honey, I miss you. You gonna be at the feast this weekend? I wish I was. Hey, Darlene. Hey, Jeffrey, how are you? And Andrea and Tom Jolly. Yay. Thanks for being here. Who else is here? We get some people on Instagram. So,
Names on that.
well, I'm looking right here now.
Oh, okay.
So it's, but you know, if I do that, it's I can't do it at the same time that we're on the air because it's too much happening for me. So anyway, so now in this next segment, we can talk about what you have going on, what you're doing, and you can tell as many jokes as you want. This is Jerry. He tells jokes.
I am a joke.
It's so funny because I was driving here and I was talking to my boyfriend and I was like, oh my God, I love Eddie. I mean, not Eddie. Yeah, Eddie is who I love. But I said to Eddie, I go, oh my God, I love Jerry. He's so fun. And I go, he's such a great guy. He's so nice and all of this. So, and then you left me a voicemail. I'm like, I gotta go. I gotta go
I forgot, I was on the other side, a few blocks away, going back and forth, looking for this building.
I know, it's, you know,
Because I lost your message, I deleted it by mistake.
this is what happens. You're like my mother. My mother said, I got something on Facebook. I go, no, Mom, that was a text.
She was great, your mom, she really aware. What's she, your mom?
My mom, oh yeah. Oh, she's
How
fine
old is
now. She's 70, she was in the wheelchair then. Remember that, in my birthday party? She had fallen. She's fine now.
That's
She's
right,
running all
yeah,
over Boston.
right.
She's having a good time. She's got a boyfriend up
She's
there and everything.
72?
She's 74. Yeah, she's 74. So, you know my nose always runs when I'm on the air? My nose always runs when I'm on the radio. I don't know why. I think it's my adrenaline.
Maybe I'm allergic.
No, it doesn't matter if you're here or not. Maybe, you know. So, hi Elaine, how are you? Hey, Sammy, how's Hal's? I'm on a diet, I can't come. I started my diet on Monday. I have to lose weight. I ate too much all summer. I can't come to Hal's. Sammy's Hal's, you know, at Hal's.
Oh, for God's sake.
I love Hal's. I love it. It's my favorite place. It's my favorite place. 1 minute. We got 1 minute.
There, I did a show at House a couple weeks ago, upstairs.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, for a private party.
Oh, I want to go. You can't have parties at his house without me.
The best lobster and the best steak I've ever had.
Oh,
Had
it's
about
the best.
40 people. So, let me ask you, what's your next, are you doing speeches in Atlanta? Are you doing anything?
I haven't gotten anything here. I get more going on in Boston.
You have an agent?
No. 30 seconds.
East Coast?
We'll talk about it.
Right.
Hey, Charlene. All right, we are back with Jerry Farber. This is Just Steph and the Just Steph Show. Welcome back, Jerry. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you. I'm just looking at you, how beautiful, and I'm just jealous of this boyfriend, whoever he is.
Well.
If things don't work out, call me.
I'll call you.
I'll give you my inside number.
Yeah.
And tell him if things don't work out with you, for him to call me at 8:35. I lived in Midtown for 60 years. We're very liberal in Midtown.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. So what do you got going on? Like, I want to talk about what you've been doing, what you have going on.
I'm writing a play. I'll tell you a little bit about it. It's a one-man play about my life. It's called Old Men Are Created Equal. Old men.
Like,
that by the time you're 75, you can be a billionaire or you can be homeless.
right.
Young people look at you the same way. They're rather useless. No, they do.
America,
I only live in America.
Right.
But young ones, and I understand it. I've been young. The arrogance, the dismissiveness of young, and the time to be that way. And then by the time of 40, you may become a full human. So it's about, and it takes place. The opening scene, I'm just going to tell you because I'm writing it with writers, is I wake up in a casket that's on stage. A casket, and friends are over me at the beginning talking about, oh, I love Jerry, it could be you. It's not going to be actors, it's going to be real people.
Oh.
And then the light comes on me and I come out in my Tar Heel wrestling shirt as if I'd just been sleeping. So what it really becomes is a second chance to tell people, to call the people that you love, because we're all going to go quite often too quick, and you don't have a chance to really express what you feel. Not the BS at a cocktail party that we do a lot.
Right.
Real. I love you. Or not. But it's a second chance, because I'm getting a second chance to say to the world how much I love them.
I love this.
That's the concept. Nothing
I'm all
funny
about,
it.
I'm all about the love. I love that. That's awesome.
I got to tell you one funny minute. Did you see the Diane Keaton I did? The Diane Keaton was awarded the Actress of the Year by the Turner Classic Movie.
Right.
It was brilliant. So Woody Allen actually closed it because they both attribute their big success to each other.
Right.
Diane Keaton. So Woody Allen says, this was recently, so Woody Allen said to Diane Keaton, he said, many people don't know, Diane, your biggest fear, like mine, is dying. That was always your biggest fear in life. So he said, I've got a new theory about death. And then he says to this audience of these super sophisticated, big name, all these show people, Meryl Streep and on down, says, death to me now is like, well, and then he said, have you all ever had a colonoscopy? Which was very hysterical. It was out of the blue, their coat and ties and tuxedo. colonoscopy. He said, Diane, let me tell you, she's right there listening. Said, colonoscopy is like, they give you a little shot and you drift off. And that's sort of what death is. So don't worry about it. It's nice, peaceful. He says, life is like the preparation for the colonoscopy.
Oh my
And it
gosh,
was
the
the
day
funniest
before,
thing. No,
the
it
day
was the
before
funniest
prep.
thing. And it was risky, but that's who Woody Allen took
Right.
a big risk of the colonoscopy and the image, but it was brilliant. He said,
Right.
life is the preparation for it, which is pretty like life.
Right, because the procedure itself is nothing, it's
Procedure is
easy.
nothing. They give you a woozy and you wake up.
Yeah,
and
that's it, and you're fine, and then you're hungry and you eat. Yeah, that's so funny.
It was a funny analogy.
It is, isn't it? You know what, that's really, it's actually genius, when you think about it.
Well, I happen to think he's a genius. Private life aside, he's a genius.
Right.
So anyway, I love that. I mean, Picasso's last girlfriend was 16 years old. I'm not endorsing it, but sometimes they live on a different,
The wacko.
they don't live in the suburbs.
Right, no.
If you know what I mean. They're out of the suburbs. So, listen.
So what do you, what
So
do you?
well, I want to promote a club. The
Okay.
Red Light Cafe I do every first Friday of the month. I've been doing it now a year
Right,
and a
is that
half. I
on
think you know.
Amsterdam, is that on Amsterdam?
That's on Amsterdam.
Amsterdam.
It's been there 30 years. It's a music club.
Right,
But first Friday of the month is a comedy or music. I use bands too. I use
Right.
a lot. I have you down there to do it. And we always get our 110 people. That's what it seats.
I love that.
And funky, you can dress, you can wear a thong if you want to, and a t-shirt.
Oh,
And it's been there, it's outlasted most of its fancier competition. It's just a real funky, totally
Right.
funky place, owned by a great young couple, Mike and Ellen Chamberlain. And then I do Johnny Esposito's place that he's doing.
City Winery,
No,
he's not there?
no, that lasted 3 hours.
Oh, really?
No, 4 hours. I wrote it down, I think it lasted 4
I
hours.
thought it was at City Winery.
That was a month, that was just him trying them and then trying him.
Oh.
He's at Malawi on West Peachtree Street, it's a brand new place, and it's beautiful.
Johnny, you
Johnny,
didn't tell me.
Johnny.
I didn't know.
I don't think he wants to tell anybody much anything yet, because it might want to stay 6 months to see if it's
Yeah.
gonna take, right? It's like I'm dating this one, then all of a sudden, I thought, no, I'm dating another one, right?
Yeah, okay.
Because it's a tough business he's in, it's nothing I know tougher
It
than
is
the
tough.
restaurant business.
They're making a City Winery in Boston.
I performed at this city winery, actually,
It's a
while he
great,
was there.
you know what, I'm gonna go see Louis Prima Jr.
Really?
You know what, I went last year and I thought it was gonna be boring. I didn't wanna sit in my seat. It was really one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Was he got a band like his
The
dad?
whole band, he does everything. He does all his dad's old stuff and he just,
They
it's
have a
very,
Keely Smith?
it's whatever, I don't know, but whatever it is, it's fun and you don't wanna sit down. It's so fun.
But Louis Prima's partner was Keely Smith, the singer. I mean, was there a girl singer that?
There was a girl that came out
Yeah.
there, yes, there was a girl. Yes, there was a girl.
He was
So,
great.
I'm
That
like,
was
I don't know
my
who that is. Yeah.
Louis Prima. I
Well,
was
yeah.
a kid when he was there.
Well,
I
yeah,
was a kid.
yeah, because, you know, but he sang all the Italian stuff, so, you
Mm.
know, I love that. So, you know, but anyway, so where else, so you're at Red Light, where else?
Red Light, and I do
You're at
a lot of
House
clubs
sometimes?
around the East Coast.
You did something at,
House was a corporate party. That was a
no,
lawyer.
House, the one
I
out?
don't do, I've been banned from House.
Okay, oh, why? 'Cause you-
Politics.
Oh, you're too nice?
No, they didn't like my liberal stuff.
Oh,
They do in Midtown. I mean,
Wow.
It's my red meat, Midtown.
There you go.
But I get it totally.
yeah,
That's not the only club I've been banned from performing in.
that's hilarious. Yeah, but, you know, at least you're okay with it.
It was startling that I'm that political, because I don't think I am, but when you can say one thing that offends a lot of the other party and you're banned. Bill Maher has a great, I've worked with Bill Maher,
Mm-hmm,
and I'm a big fan of his. He's making $20 million a year doing what he does. And he said, you know, I accept. And he's very smug and arrogant, and he's also pretty bright. He says, I'll take half the crowd in America that I know love me, and the other half hate me. I'll take those odds. I got 80 million people that like my work. That's his take, but he takes a stand, and it's hard in comedy anymore to not be political, because we're political whether we want to be or not.
right.
How we dress, we're making statements, and today is a pretty tough time to stay in the corners.
It is, I don't really like to talk about politics, but I think that.
But why not? If you're ever going to have a relationship, you would do it quietly maybe, right? With your partner or somebody to be who you
Oh,
are? It's a lot
no,
of who you are.
my boyfriend and I agree on politics.
Okay.
And we're because he's very old school, you know, Sicilian like me. So we have a lot of the same, like even family values and things like that. So which I think is very important for me.
Could you be in love with somebody who was, let's just say you were a liberal and they were conservative, could you still overcome something that basic?
I don't know. I'll be honest with you, Jerry, I don't know if that would work for me. And I'll tell you why. I think because, especially now, and I say this even when it comes to, say, faith, religion, I will be friends with anybody. I love everybody, that's all good, whatever. But if I'm going to be in a private, romantic relationship with somebody, I want them to have some of the same beliefs as me because everything else is so much harder.
Well, I don't know whether you're nice or not, but I could not be friends with guys waving a swastika flag.
No,
I couldn't
know.
be.
Well, I don't know.
Contrary.
I mean, you know what? I take that back. Like anybody who's mean to anybody else, I cannot be friends with.
Okay, so.
But I'm talking about if someone there's plenty of people who I am friendly with that believe things that are contrary to what I believe, but I just love them for who they are and where they're at. That doesn't mean they're mean to other people. It's just that they might believe that I'm going to say this, but I don't care who takes, say somebody believes that the death penalty is okay and I don't. I'm okay with that. Mm-hmm. That's their belief. That's fine. And I don't have a problem with that at all. As long as they're not being mean to other people.
That I totally understand.
So that's what I'm talking about.
There is a crowd. And the reason is, I was raised Jewish. We lost a lot of family in the Holocaust. And the Germans they thought it would go away like a bad cold. It didn't go away. And there's signs all over the world where it's at. Eastern Europe again. A lot of white nationalists there.
It's
so
infuriating.
We've got an issue. And my point would be, there's a point to it, is that to have a real relationship, that's an important thing. If I were in a lineup and having fast dates, one of the first things I would say, how do you believe about American politics? Rather than wait till we're through lovemaking and all that and then become the under part of who we are.
Right.
Because then, that's an important thing.
I
Not
agree.
just how attractive you are.
Right.
It can be who you really are, who you think.
Well, no. I mean, I totally agree with you. And I think, religion and politics is a big deal in an intimate relationship. I really do.
I do.
And so, okay, I'm Christian, you're Jewish, we can be friends, but I want to be in a romantic relationship with somebody who believes that, in Jesus. That's just me.
Right.
That doesn't mean that I'll be friends with you and whoever. I don't care what you believe or what you do on Sunday.
I totally know that.
So that's what I'm talking about.
But I'm talking about something much darker.
Right. If you were not a nice person and you were doing mean things, we wouldn't be here right now. We wouldn't be talking. And that's just how it is.
The nicest thing about being Jewish, is you can buy wholesale and not be ashamed of it. You can get 40% off. And and the producer knows it's a good concept. Nothing the matter with it.
I love it.
Well, my rabbi will hate me for that.
I guess like I said before, my job is that if people are in my world, that they know that they've been loved. And it doesn't matter.
Trust you.
And it doesn't matter, what they believe or if they like me or not. And now if they're not nice people, I will walk away from that. And just turn away and just, just not be part of it. And so that's how I feel. I'm just sort of, I guess I'm sort of a little bit of a pacifist. I don't mean to be that way. I'm the first one to say, I'm a Sicilian, I get riled up, but I sort of just believe, can't we just all get, love each other? Like, I don't know.
Well, you can love a lot and carry a big stick.
Right.
Because as some people said, the Nazis knew one thing, and that's a brick to the head. That's the only thing they seem to understand.
Well, they were rotten to the core.
But they're not the only ones. There are a lot of them. American, we had our own stuff. My point is to be aware. And a lot of people
have to
just
be
are
aware.
going to totally unaware that things can happen in America.
Right.
We've already outlasted the number of years most democracies last.
Absolutely.
We've outlasted that. And we've already had all our internal. I'm just disappointed how many people I meet that are so into the exterior and not the actions in the interior.
Well, I have to say, I'd like to see somebody on an operating table needing blood, and the doctor saying, well, would you like to choose, because we only have one pint for you, and that is an African American or a Jew or whatever, and they're a white supremacist, and then you can either die or take the blood, you know, and that's.
I think some would die, some would die.
You know what, well, good, and guess where they're going, sorry, is that a little judgmental? But, you know, I just think that, you know, well, oh well, don't take the blood. Bye. Bye-bye, you know?
Love Sicilians, I love the Sicilians.
That's right. So, I mean, I just, you know, I don't have any, you know, tolerance for that either, so, and, you know, but yeah, I just walk away from it. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, Living Atlanta, and this one is for Brian Cloudis, Janice Fusco. Thanks for liking my Just Steph and Living Atlanta pages. Love me harder. See, this is all about the love, kids. Oh, my God. Ew, I'm hot. That was a little heated. Not used to the heat. Human rights surpass political parties. It should be a universal value we all have a high premium on.
Wait, say that.
That's
Sorry.
the comment from Katie Carpala, who's going to be on my show next week, is she says that human rights surpass political parties. It should be a universal value we all have a high premium on. In other words,
No,
it doesn't matter what your politics are, your rights as a human being should be more important than my beliefs. And I agree. And I think that's what I was trying to say.
You did say that.
So, yes. So I agree. I agree with that, 100%. So.
Well, you know, that group in Charlottesville, they were coming, they're supposed to have 9 events this Saturday, all over the country.
Oh, God.
Wait a minute, but they canceled. And you know why? There were so many millions of hits. They knew there was going to be opposition. See, they knew there wasn't going to be like Charlotte. The police weren't ready quite in Charlotte. No, they weren't ready. Everybody's ready.
People aren't going to put up with that. I mean, I think that in general, I mean, I know that there are people doing that and they were like that, but maybe, am I wrong? Am I like about the fairy tale, but am I wrong to think that most people are intrinsically good and that, am I wrong?
I think so. I think they are.
I mean, I think people are good and nobody wants to see anybody hurt or any group of people being persecuted for the color of their skin, their, you know, or their religious beliefs or whatever.
But that's why, those are very humanistic, dreams. We always are going to need an army to protect, because my brother says it this way, all the humans, some of us are cancer cells, and they get together, just like cancer in the body.
And they grow.
And they're always going to be cancer cells, because there always have been. There's no reason to think it's getting better. All over the world is falling apart. You know, Brazil and Argentina, these countries are being taken over because too many people are passive. And one thing with around a Jewish crowd is that we're not really passive particularly. We've been aware of it. So Sicily and the Italians too, they took it on the nose in that war. And they didn't pay attention. Next thing you know, there was a Mussolini and a Hitler.
Yeah.
It comes on quietly.
Right.
Like Alzheimer's, and all of a sudden you're toast.
Well, you know, I wonder, I've got to say this, and maybe again, I'm being sort of fairy tale-ish or whatever, or maybe too simplistic, but 1 minute, we got 1 minute. I think people are, they're not being raised right. The parents are a problem. I mean, is this...
another problem, because money, there's so many still failures and bankruptcies.
Parents
and
are
the children
ridiculous with the bullying and all that baloney, letting that crap happen. What an appropriate song for what we were just talking about, Love Me Harder. And you know what? I have to say, my message today is if you can't, love yourself and love everybody around you. If you can't love, stay home. That's stay in your own lane. That's what I think.
I love Cat Stevens said love between 2 people is the greatest thing in the world, except love between 5 people. That's like Woodstock. That would be a Woodstock concept. Sorry, I'm joking.
I'm like, what? I don't know. I don't get it. It's a love boat. All right. All right, so you wanted to know where to go this weekend, and you've been waiting for Living Atlanta. Don't believe it, just watch. All right, so listen, people, you know, it's summer and everybody's doing the patios and all that stuff, so drink responsibly, drive responsibly, call a designated driver, call Uber, call Lyft, call a cab, call a friend. Leave your car at the valet and get it the next day. Please don't drink and drive. It's very important. So, you know, at New York Prime, what are you going to do this weekend? What are you doing?
I'm working both tomorrow and Saturday.
So, where?
Both clubs in Midtown, one a country club and one a comedy club. I'm working Saturday at Mulavi on West Beach Street.
Okay, all right. So we get what time are you on?
Saturday. Starts at 7:30.
7:30. What's the cover? Oh, it's a dinner show.
No cover charge.
There you go. All righty.
Mulavi. It's in that great spot at West Beach Street, right down in Midtown.
Nice.
Mulavi, yes.
All right, so we'll have to look at that. And, you know, New York Prime is having Get Yours Now. It's a total eclipse cocktail, or wait until 2078. Will you be there in 2078?
I'm halfway through my life already. You know, I don't know if I can wait that long.
Well, before I get into your eclipse parties, I'm going to be at Davio's tonight and possibly at Three Sheets on Friday. I'm not really sure. I'm trying to be, trying to be on a diet and just kind of chill a little bit and exercise and take care of my body. And
You
just,
can go out still have a salad somewhere, right?
I
A little
know.
martini, a couple martinis.
Couple martinis, and then a
Three
couple
martinis,
martinis
three
lead
martinis.
to like a late night at the Landmark Diner.
Please, please.
Anyway, okay, so, before I get into our regular stuff, I wanted to tell you there's a bunch of eclipse viewing parties on Monday that I didn't want to miss by running out of time. The Pond City Market Skyline Park is at 12:30. Now, before I get into this, remember you have to have the proper glasses. So a lot of these places will provide them, but you can't just wear your regular sunglasses.
Mhm.
It's not going to
Good.
work. You can get
Good
really hurt.
reminder.
Yeah, you can get them. They actually are giving them away free at the library. So, or you can go to Lowe's or anything like that. But you can Google it, and NASA has a list of all the places that you can purchase or get for free. And they've partnered with the public library system to hand out free glasses.
Really good to know.
So.
And can you buy them at these other places?
You can buy them at other places, but you have to make sure that they're specific. There's like a certain brand, like ISO or something. So, yeah. Anyway, so the Little 5 Points, this Pond City Market Skyline Park, Little 5 Points Corner Tavern, 6 Feet Under, the Five Seasons West Side Restaurant and Brewery, Five Church Atlanta, Oku, the Sundial, which that could be kind of fun. The Sundial and that's what's going on. So those are the places that I found, but I'm sure that you can. There'll be more going on, and we'll hear about more over the weekend. So that's what's happening. That's Monday, and it starts at like I think it goes from like 12 to 4. Right, the view. Like my kids are gonna. My son is gonna watch it at school. So they'll all come out, all the kids. I mean, I'd be rather watching the sun than being in school, wouldn't you?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, exactly.
All right, so Deb Bowman is always Tuesday at the Regent Cocktail Club, and she's also at Serenbe Playhouse till September 3rd, I believe, and she's playing the role of Fraulein Koss in the Serenbe Playhouse, and playing in Cabaret. DJ Vanessa Hunley is G's tonight doing Sunday Fun Day in Midtown, and she's at tonight and Sunday doing Sunday Fun Day. It's all karaoke, and Friday night she's at Simi's monthly soiree at Le Meridian, and Wednesdays she's at the Metro Cafe Diner. Johnny Perazzo is all over the place at Whiskey Mistress, which we love him. He's the best.
I think he's 4 nights a week.
Yeah. So he's there, so just look up on Facebook and you can find him. There's always music every night at Dixie Tavern City Winery Venkman's. Now Tuesdays is Joe Granson Free Jazz Jam at Venkman's.
It's my favorite night out there, Venkman's. I go there. I got to play the piano with Joe.
You did?
And on Wednesday too. Yeah,
Nice.
That's a jazz night.
I love that. I love it. And Wednesday has trivia at Venkman's, and the Smithsonian Bar always has live music. You can check out my Living Atlanta calendar on my website, juststeph.com. Tonight is a live after 5 in Roswell, in Old Town Roswell. It's Rose Thursday at 3 Sheets in Sandy Springs. It's Thirsty Thursday happy hour at Hotel Indigo in Vinings from 5:30 to 7:30. The Watershed Weekly Patio Punch Party is going on from 5:30 to 7. And where I'm going to be is at Davio's, their 7th anniversary party. It's going to be on their patio and in their bar from 6 to 9, and it's benefiting Bert's Big Adventure. So come on out. They're going to have a live auction, and Steve is going to be there, the owner, and it's going to be lots of fun. So, and they always have music and cocktails and past appetizers at Davio's. And tomorrow night is Summer in Santorini cooking class at Vino Venue. Summer Heat at 3 Sheets from 8:30 to 1. I'm probably going to go to that. And, of course, Simi's monthly soiree at Le Meridian. Saturday is Cardio Blast at Body Design Personal Training. It's a free fat burning from 10 to 10:45. It's the first annual taco crawl from 12 to 6 at 25 tacos and beer, and it's by Atlanta Bar Crawls and you can look at culinarylocal.com. And Nowhere Men, it's a Beatles cover band at House Grill at 7 p.m. Sister Hazel is at the Duluth Summer Stage Concert. And Sunday, Band X is at Johnny's Hideaway at 8:30. Of course, Monday is the Eclipse Day, so don't miss that. Tuesday is at Hammocks is Lobster Night, and Wednesday at Hammocks is Martini Night. Angela Rain, next Thursday is at Mad Life Studios, and coming up on September 10th, New York Prime has a Woodford Reserve whiskey dinner. And I have a big shout out to my Boston birthdays, Tina Lavoie, Susan Mizuko Schaefer, and Mary Ellen Rogers Merck. Next week I have Katie Carpala. We're going to be talking about emotional intelligence. So, Jerry, it was great having you back.
Thanks for having me.
Will you come back?
Not really.
Oh my-
But I love you.
Oh my
Always keep
God.
coming. Of course I will. Thank you.
Today, was it something I said? So check me out on Facebook, Twitter, at Steph Palermo, YouTube, Instagram. I'm on Snapchat. I'm Snapchatting with my nieces in Boston. I don't know, it's too crazy. And I'm on Facebook and whatever, Twitter and Pinterest and all of that. So know I love you all, and I'll see you next week. Wishing you love, balance, and peace. Ciao, ciao, baby.
Ciao, ciao. Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you.
Oh, gosh.
Great
Katie said
energy.
great show. Thank you. Hi, Nancy. All right, kids. Ciao. We'll see you next week. Love you.